My name's Frank Clark. I'm retired after 36 years in the nuclear industry. My wife and I bought this house 15 years ago from family. It belonged to my mother actually for 20 years prior to that. So I was well aware of things that may need to be repaired or replaced in the coming years. So we moved in and I just took note of certain things, and I always knew that the furnace, being as old as it appeared, would need some extensive repairs, or it would just get to the point where it was time to take it out of the house, out with the old, in with the new. And around the time that we got settled, my stepson in Clifton Springs had recently had some work done at his house with some plumbing situations. He moved into an older home too, and the heating plant was fouled, and he was more than pleased with everything that was done for him by the company. So in talking with him and him showing me the product and the way it was engineered and everything about the people that he interacted with, I've always had in the back of my mind that if I ever needed any type of work performed that they were available for, I would definitely make them one of my options. I pulled out that card, and something told me, by the way that card was artistically developed, I looked at it and I said, wow, look at that. It's the name, but it's made of all the tools that they use to do their work. That's cool. A lot of thought went into that. And I'm going to give them a call just because I think that's a cool card. And based on the coolness of the card and the coolness of the work that I had seen them do for my son-in-law or my stepson, I called them up, and they sent one of their energy analysts, Jamie, down right away. He went through the house top to bottom, room to room, and was able to tell me exactly what we needed to bring this house up to today's modern standards and improve the environment for us to live in. And I agreed, and he, over the course of our conversations, he brought to my attention that there were some government programs out there that may or may not be able to save me some money based on certain factors that he would apply to the, and just make that determination for me. I didn't have to do any of the legwork or any of the, pulling papers out of here or there. He just took a minimum amount of information that I had for him and left. And the next call I got from him, it all worked out. We're saving you this much money. It's going to cost you this much. And I went, it's only going to cost me that much? And he said, yep. And he explained to me what they were going to do, when they were going to do it. And I said, okay, let's go ahead with it. And from that point on, throughout the entire process, they were very courteous, professional, neat, clean, quiet. I mean, I couldn't believe they were ripping out a cast iron furnace downstairs and bringing it out in chunks smaller than a bowling ball. And it didn't disturb us at all. We sat up here with the dog watching TV, and the dog goes out of his mind when he hears strange noises and not a peep out of him. Matter of fact, he slept at my wife's feet most of the time. And they put everything in. They didn't have any problems at all, thanks to the fact that they showed up well equipped to deal with any circumstances that they were faced with. They had everything they needed, and what they didn't have, they made, and they had it all together. They were in and out in a day and a half. They had everything done in one day, but then they had to come back with their inspector the following day and just kind of button things up and put it into service. They had to do a test run, and etc. But it all went well. Jamie came back to do the final inspection, and I told him how pleased I was with the job and how nice and neat and clean they left the basement for me, which I didn't expect because it was, to be honest with you, a dump down there. But when they left, it was cleaner than they found it. Jamie said that he was satisfied with everything that they did, as was I. And we signed off, and my wife and I are sitting in our home, loving our heat, loving our hot water, and we can't say enough good about Halco as a company and as an organization with people that I would trust for anything that may come up in the future. There's only one phone call that I'm going to make, and it's always going to be to their number, because that's the easiest route for me to take. I'm too old to worry about every step that every other guy is going to make and whether or not it's going to work out in my best interest or their best interest. I know that I don't have those concerns. I don't have a need for those concerns when I'm dealing with Halco. End of story. They did an awesome job.